This is the most powerful MacBook that I've ever owned, the 16-inch M4 Pro MacBook Pro. And this thing is a beast. I managed to pick one up for a massive discount earlier this year, almost 40% cheaper than its launch price, but more on that later. Okay, so let me tell you about my setup. I like having two MacBooks, right? A thin and light one for travel, so in this case I have this M4 13-inch MacBook Air, which is fantastic. And for any serious work I use a 16-inch MacBook Pro docked to my monitor, keyboard, mouse, whatever. But this is the one that I use for rendering, for editing, and everyday use really. Now, before grabbing this, my main editing and rendering MacBook used to be the M1 Pro 16-inch, and that thing was still crazy fast, especially since it had 32 gigabytes of RAM. And honestly, if I didn't have the opportunity to get this M4 Pro for such a huge discount, I wouldn't have upgraded from the M1 Pro. No way. So what is this? Well, this is the base M4 Pro with 24 gigs of RAM and a 512 gigabyte SSD, which honestly is a slight downgrade compared to my M1 Pro, which had 32 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. But honestly, I don't care. I don't feel the difference. It's fine. So when it comes to price, how much was this and why do I keep saying that I got it for a huge discount? Well, I think this MacBook used to be sold for $2,700 brand new directly from Apple. And one of my local stores was selling it for $1,700, which is a $1,000 discount, and that's just insane. And honestly, for that money, I couldn't say no. So why were they selling it so cheap? Well, this was back in March when the M5 Pro and M5 Max MacBooks were released. So the M4 Pro automatically became old stock, so they were selling it at a big discount in order to make space for the M5 Pro. I don't know, and honestly, I don't care. I just bought it on the spot. And a few days later, I saw that they were selling the M5 Pro version of this guy for the same $2,700. And today, since the price increased, they're selling it for $3,000, and that's just insane. Oh, and yeah, if you didn't know, Apple actually increased the prices for all Macs and iPads like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and this guy got a $300 price hike, so And seriously, if you want to buy a 16-inch MacBook Pro today directly from Apple, it's $3,000, and that's just crazy. And if you think about it, this guy was almost half of that back in March. And I gotta say, this has to be one of the best purchases that I've ever made. Either way, if you don't want to spend $3,000 directly at Apple for one of these guys, check out current pricing on Amazon. Last time I checked, it was like $2,600 for the M5 Pro version. But yeah, Amazon link down in the description below. But what makes this 16-inch MacBook Pro so good? Well, a lot of things. You have the fantastic performance, the build quality, the amazing display, but we'll get into those a bit later. But here's something that can make every MacBook even better, and that's today's sponsor, Tenorshare PDNob, a lightweight and affordable PDF editor that is designed for everyday use. Whether you're working with tax forms, school assignments, medical documents, or pretty much any other type of PDF, well, PDNob makes it very easy to edit, view, and organize them. You can edit text, images, add watermarks, fill in forms, and so much more. It also lets you create PDFs from scratch, convert files to and from PDF, and even merge multiple PDFs into a single document. For example, I just opened this large medical PDF, which is the Handbook of Pediatric Dentistry, which my wife reads and uses. This is like 548 pages, and it opened it instantly. Seriously, this PDF reader is so fast, and I absolutely love it. And on top of that, it includes a range of AI-powered features, including the ability to summarize long PDFs, translate them, and instantly rephrase text. And the cool part is that PDNob is available for both Mac and Windows, so you can use it across different devices without changing your workflow. Oh, and one thing that really stood out to me is how incredibly fast and lightweight it feels. It's very responsive. Everything just works. I absolutely love it. Unlike many other PDF editors which feel, heavy and clunky, nah. This is super fast and lightweight. Either way, if you'd like to check it out, you'll find the link in the pinned comment and in the video description. But now, let's go back to the MacBook and see what made it so great. First up, let's talk about the display. Now, this is probably one of the best displays on any laptop on the market, period. I know it's not OLED, but it's a very high quality mini LED display. It goes up to 1600 nits in HDR and 1000 in SDR. It has 120 Hz ProMotion and a very high resolution, which I'll just put down in the screen here. But yeah, it also has thin bezels, fantastic color accuracy, and yeah, this display is just mwah, chef's kiss. And the fun part is, while everyone is saying that this display is the exact same one as on the M1 Pro 16-inch MacBook Pro, yeah, it mostly is, but it's actually a different display. Let me tell you more about it, because here's something that many reviewers haven't told you. With the M4 Pro and the M5 Pro generation of MacBook Pros, Apple has moved to QD or quantum dot, which is a new type of film layer that replaces the old KSF phosphor films. Okay, cool. So what does that mean? Well, this translates into better color accuracy, a wider color gamut, and better motion performance. And honestly, I noticed it a few days after I switched laptops. Don't get me wrong, it's not a night and day difference. No, this is something that you'll only notice if you have both laptops side by side. But either way, this display is fantastic. And it's slightly better than the previous version. So yeah, thumbs up to Apple for upgrading it even further. But either way, don't get too excited. This is only a minor upgrade. The big display upgrade is actually coming later this year with the 2026 OLED touchscreen MacBook Pro. So yeah, if you'd like to see a review of that MacBook, make sure to subscribe, as most of my viewers aren't subscribed. So let's try to fix that. So what else makes this MacBook so good? Well, build quality. Let's talk about it, because this MacBook is built like a tank. Sorry for the fingerprints, I tried to clean it as best as I could, but yeah, you can see a lot of fingerprints on this space black finish. But yeah, this thing is built like a tank. It's extremely solid, there's no flex. It's amazing. Another thing that I absolutely liked is that compared to the previous 2019 16-inch, you get a ton of new ports, as this one only had 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and that's it. Sorry, Thunderbolt 3 ports actually. The keyboard and the trackpad are also top tier. They're some of the best on the market, especially the trackpad. This thing is so huge, like it's literally the size of my my palm. It's huge and I love it. But either way, let's talk about performance. And the thing is that on paper, the M4 Pro is about 2 times faster than the M1 Pro. Geekbench scores are practically double that of the M1 Pro. And you might say, wow, 2 times faster performance. Surely you'll notice that, that's huge, but no. In real life, you're not gonna notice that 2 times jump. No way. Especially in daily tasks, such as web browsing, emailing, writing scripts such as this one, there's literally 0 difference. When editing, however, yeah, I did notice 2 different things. First of all, rendering time was slightly faster. So when I tested the same 4K 30 video being rendered, the M1 Pro did it in like 5 minutes, while the M4 Pro did it in like 4 minutes. So that's what, a 20% jump. It's still good, but it's not huge. Especially that this is for the type of projects that I work on. So top-down desk shots in 4K 30 FPS, yeah, nothing special here. There's probably a bigger difference between the 2 laptops if you shoot multicam 8K video or working with red RAW files or whatever. The other thing that I noticed, however, when video editing is the timeline performance. So when playing, pausing the video, scrubbing through the video, adding masks, etc., everything is noticeably smoother and not necessarily faster, but just smoother. That's the word. The M1 Pro would hiccup sometimes. Yeah, there would be a slight delay here and there when playing and pausing the video in Final Cut. But with the M4 Pro, you get none of that. It's perfectly smooth. The only annoying part about this laptop is the 512 gigabytes of storage. But since I edit my videos off of external SSDs anyway, whatever, I can live with it. And going back to 24 gigabytes of RAM from 32 isn't that big of a downgrade. I mean, I haven't noticed any differences whatsoever, to be honest. And as long as you have more than 16 gigabytes of RAM, you'll probably be fine, so don't worry about it. The speakers are also shockingly good. They're just as good as the ones on my 16-inch M1 Pro. And yeah, let me just play you a quick video to so you can hear the speakers. I know that listening to speakers through a YouTube video doesn't do it justice, but yeah, either way, here goes. Yeah, you can actually hear the bass, the mids. There's even a bit of soundstage, and it just sounds fantastic. These are some of the best speakers on any laptop out there, period. So what about battery life? Well, this is a huge difference coming from my M1 Pro. That one had a battery health of 85% or something, and it would last about 8 to 10 hours of daily use or about 4 hours of editing. This guy, however, wow, it's a huge difference. It lasts like twice as much, seriously. It's about 20 hours of daily web browsing, which is just crazy. And if I'm editing, it's like 7 to 8 hours. It's literally double of what the M1 Pro used to last. That's huge. Now, the interesting part is that I did manage to get it down to, where do I see the battery health? Oh, sorry, it's just here. Yeah, I did manage to get it down to 98% after, I don't know, 4 months? How long has it been since March? Yeah, like 4 months. But yeah, whatever, it doesn't really matter. This thing is a tool. I use it every single day and I'm not gonna baby it. So the battery is going to degrade. That's it, whatever. But either way, this will be my main editing machine for the next, what, 4 to 5 years? Because honestly, I see no reason why I would need to upgrade from the M4 Pro anytime soon. I mean, even the M1 Pro was still good and I could have used that for a few more years without any issues. But hey, I had the chance to grab this thing at a huge discount, so why not? I also managed to sell my 16-inch M1 Pro for like $700 to $800, so this entire upgrade cost me $1,000. And for that money, why not? But yeah, either way, let me know down below if you've ever used one of these 16-inch MacBook Pros. And as always, this was Dave on Tech signing out, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!